Welcome to Mythical Phylogeny Adventures. I'm your guide Jason. We've covered giants, gods, titans, dragons, and a whole host of monsters, massive and grand. So let's look at something much smaller, the Kamaitachi. I want you to imagine that you are walking along and enjoying the warm weather. The snow is melting, and you gamble to wear shorts today. Let some sun onto your exposed legs. You aren't in a hurry and are taking something slams into your leg and you topple to the ground suddenly. You catch yourself with your hands before your face meets the pavement. You look around but can't figure out what hit you. As you stand up, you notice a large gash across your leg, but there is no blood. Hiding in the tree, the Kamaitachi is laughing. It licks the blood from its scythe as it vanishes. You are never the wiser about your assailant. This is the method of attack of the Kamaitachi, the Sickle Weasel. It has several other names across Japan, such as the Izuna, Nogama, the Wild Sickle, and the Kamakirizaka. That last one references a giant mantis crushed under a heavy snowfall. It is an excuse for the small cuts you get while hiking. So, what we have here is either a kind of weasel with large claws, sometimes more like that of a mantis, or one carrying a grass-cutting scythe, or kama. It flies by riding whirlwinds around, and cuts people so that it can drink your blood. The cuts are usually on the legs, which makes people speculate that it can only reach so high, about 1 shaku or 30 centimeters. So, pretty short. Yep, we got ourselves a vampiric weasel. No, this isn't some kind of vampire, just a blood-drinking weasel. It can also turn invisible. Some talk about it living in puddles after the rain. So it sounds pretty simple, right? Well, it gets more complicated when you start looking at the different versions around Japan. In one version, there are 3 that operate as a team. The first knocks you down, the second cuts you, and the third then applies medicine, which is why you don't bleed. Another version says that they come from shovels and scythes that were used for burials. If they were left outside, may turn into the Kamaitachi. Yet there is a way to protect yourself. All you need to do is chant Hotoki no Hidori no Shita no Omiyashi no Hishita no Kirataki no Hirakabu Nari Ituai wa Nakari Hayaku Urata ga Haikisuru. Or in English, beneath the foot on the bottom left of Buddha is the stump of the Kuratake, and quickly become clean, but let it grow back. I hope you have a good memory for that. With the mantis variant, the Kamakarizaki, that leaves behind black blood at the wound site. There is another story I want to talk about though. It is the tale of 2 women. The first woman had a lover, but the second woman vied for his attention and stole him away. In frustration, the first woman cut her long hair away and threw the locks into the wind, where it became the first Kamaitachi. It would take the woman's wrath and seek out the second woman to decapitate her. There is a bit more to it. One tale does mention a priest stealing one away, though he failed to teach his apprentice, who let it escape. In the final version, it doesn't cause pain initially, but afterwards will have a burning feeling. Sometimes the cuts are deep enough to expose the bone and can be fatal. Lastly, it does have a weakness. Those of samurai heritage are protected by their true virtue. Okay, I do need to ask what they mean by true virtue. Well, we have a clue in that it's said to be a samurai which are immune. And that makes me believe that it has something to do with Bushido. There are 8 listed tenets of Bushido: rectitude, benevolence, courage, loyalty, honor, honesty, respect, and self-control. So is having those properties the key here? Well, there is more to the code of Bushido when you look at it. Some are concepts which aren't verbalized well. Those may be the concepts which they mean with true virtue. And there is a way to heal the wounds. And it is rather odd. You take an old calendar and blacken it with fire before pressing it into the wound. And that is weird. I wondered if there was something unique to the ways that Japan used to make their calendars. Something used in the fabric or wood, or with the ink and paint. But I couldn't find anything that would make sense. I'm sorry. Biologically, this isn't that complicated. A weasel could hold a kama, so that version goes easy. As for the one with scythe arms, we could take the whale approach. Fuse the fingers together into a paddle and merge the nails like a horse's hoof to create the blade. Or we could just elongate the claws altogether. Yes, that can make them more brittle, but that can be worked around. Honestly, that is an incredibly simple process. However, there is one issue. It's said to only jump up to 1 shaku or 30 centimeters, but most weasels can get up to 1 meter or 3 feet. This leads me to believe that they are targeting the lower leg for a reason. And the answer is, where are your eyes and hands? Well, they are usually much higher than a foot off the ground. They are going where you don't see and are going to struggle to reach. This is smart. And this is what we see vampiric birds and bats do. They target the feet of cattle. It keeps them safe while they bite through their prey's skin to get the blood. So, how do we protect ourselves from such a foe? We know its weapon, either a kama or claws. Both are used for slashing, and it targets your lower legs. So, armor here. Plate, chainmail, and gambeson will stop its attacks. You'll want to toughen up your boots and pants. This isn't too much, to be honest. You could easily just put pipes over your legs. So how do we stop it permanently? The first step is catching it. You could try a net, but its claws and blades will cut through that in time. So use a chainmail net. This will also keep it from being blown away by its whirlwind. You'll need to be fast. If you choose to go for an attack, I take a sword. You need a fast weapon, and this is a weasel. It isn't that big. Honestly, anything hitting it will break bones and probably finish this fight. That would include your boot. In concept, this is like fighting a bird. But it is fast and invisible. That second one is going to be an issue. Is it changing color or bending light? That I don't know. If it is bending light, nothing will work. But if it is changing colors and using camouflage, you can disrupt that using checkered pattern material. However, there is a better option. Create a single path of attack. This will require prep work, but it is worth it. You'll want to put yourself at the end of a box and lure it in. And there is an option here. And that would be the shotgun approach. Yes, a literal shotgun. It can't hide if you can hit everywhere at once. Yet things change a bit when we add in magic. A powerful fire area of effect spell should help you strike it. And there is an added bonus. It is said to ride on whirlwinds, and heat causes the air to rise. If you do that right, you could bring the Kamaitachi to a better height. This might also benefit from using ice and cold magic. You could use those spells to trap to prevent it from moving. Of course, lightning magic might be able to match its speed, if you can hit an invisible foe. And there is one spell which I do know works, and that is a sealing spell. The legends literally say that a priest was able to seal one away. This will definitely be an option in this fight. Unfortunately, the priest failed to teach his apprentice, so that may be lost knowledge. But at the very least, it is possible. There are two more spells I would want. Something to see invisible foes is a definite advantage, and the other would be a time control spell. Fighting the Kamaitachi is a battle of speed and accuracy. You don't need power to win this fight. Nope. But you will need sharp eyes and quick reflexes to hit it. I'm going to give it a 2 of 10 for difficulty. Yes, it has high evasion and speed, but low attack power. The cuts it leaves are usually shallow and unlikely to be fatal. There is one factor which could be an issue though, and that is if there is a group of them. But you can handle that, adventurer. If you slay the Kamaitachi, you can get the hide and meat. But since this is a weasel, that probably won't amount to much. Yet it does have claws, which you could use. They are sharp, and would make fine daggers to be sure. But could you domesticate one? Well, perhaps. If you could get one in your party, that would be a speedy aid in a fight. If done right, they could be your party's assassin. They are small and quick, perfect for such a job. And they won't steal the gold from your pocket like a rogue. That sounds good, doesn't it? Sure, they drink blood, but that should be plentiful on the battlefield. Not an issue at all. But there is one final factor. They have a medicine to cure wounds. Do you know what that sounds like? A healing potion. Yep, they got healing potions. Those are useful under any condition. I don't know if these are weak healing potions or just a trace amount which they are using on their victims' wounds. But still useful. These are difficult foes to be sure. What they lack in power, they make up for in speed and maneuverability. You'll need to think to win this fight. Be careful with the Kamaitachi. Thank you for watching, adventurers. Please return next time. Until then, I'll see you on the roads.